Hey there, fellow travelers. Welcome to Bon Voyage Cruise Travel, your go-to channel for all things cruise related. Today I'm taking you on a special solo adventure during my Western Caribbean cruise on Princess, Caribbean Princess. In this series, we'll be exploring vibrant and diverse ports of call such as Cozumel, Belize, Roatan, specifically Mahogany Bay, and Costa Maya. Today's episode, I'm focusing on the incredible journey to the majestic Kohunlich Ruins in Costa Maya. So let's get started. In Costa Maya area, you can find all kinds of things to buy. This is the town of Mahahual. Apparently, if you walk out of this makeshift port at the very end, there's taxis that can take you to local beaches to get away from the Americanized version of this. What's interesting to note is this is a man-made pier. All the tours are meeting at a pre-booked area to the far right within this village area, and you line up, they look at your tickets, put you in the right place, and then you walk to your bus. I booked this tour prior to getting on the ship. I knew that I wanted to see something authentic of Mexico. I know this area is all about ruins and it's the Riviera Maya Peninsula, and there were a lot of different things you could visit. So I thought this would be a good thing to do. I claimed my ticket in my room, met everybody at the pier, and they checked me off on a list, and then I boarded the bus, and it was fine as a solo traveler. Perfectly easy to do. So traveling solo does have its challenges. One could be that maybe a shore excursion would be a little bit odd for you when you see everyone grouped up. But for me personally, I feel comfortable in groups, so this should be fine, and I'll see how it goes. And another advantage of traveling solo is that when my alarm went up, I got dressed, I took a shower. I don't have to wait for anybody, or no one's slowing me down, so now I can go get coffee quickly. I can move around a lot faster than traveling with other people. So that's something I've observed. And I noticed that this is the time of the cruise where people are starting to get on each other's nerves. I can just tell. Like, people don't want to do things, or that maybe they have different ideas of what's happening. So when you're traveling solo, you don't have to worry about those type of things. The Kohunlich Ruins is about 2 hours away by bus. And we are provided with a snack and a lot of educational information on board. We're waiting for half our group. We had to meet at the end of the pier, and I guess some people just haven't made it yet, but we are waiting for them. Here's a heads up. A lot of people wait for the shuttle that takes them to the end of the pier, but unfortunately that goes really full and takes time to wait for. So I would recommend walking to your tour area because it takes 15 minutes, and that way you won't be late for your tour. So you don't want to be that person that's late. It was a scenic bus ride through the Yucatan Peninsula and an unforgettable exploration of an ancient world.
Drive in this street, if you look to the left, you may be able to see at the end a lighthouse. So to the right of the lighthouse is the little town Mahahual, which had 4,000. But what I want to tell you is that some ships bring more than 6,000 passengers and like 2,000 crew members, one ship. So when we have 4 ships, well, you can imagine how things are. Everybody's working, every lounge chair in the beach is taken, every table in a restaurant is taken, taxis are going back and forth all day long, taking and bringing people back to the port, etc. So Costa Maya, as I was just telling you, has boosted the economy in this area. On the way to the Gulf of Mexico, and then south again until we arrive at Kohunlich. We must drive 112 miles from Costa Maya to the site.
Here we got to step back in time. This was far from your typical port experience, that is for sure. But it is an adventure I am thrilled to share with you. Kohunlich is an ancient Mayan archaeological site located in the southern portion of Quintana Roo in the Yucatan Peninsula. And it is located about 25 miles west of Chetmal. It's roughly dated to have been active from the early 200s to the early 1000s AD. The name Kohunlich is actually from an English name from a nearby body of water called Kohunlich Ridge. And also it was named after the Kohunlich palm trees in the area. And the original Mayan name of the site is not known. It is a bit of a trek to get here from the cruise port in Costa Maya, which is part of the charm. It's an adventure that takes you off the beaten path and into the world of the ancient Maya.
Japan started with the excavation. He first excavated the Temple of the Masks, the ball court, part of the Acropolis, and part of the plaza.
What I really enjoyed was that, unlike some of the more famous Mayan ruins, this tends to not be very crowded, so it gives you a tranquil and authentic experience.
Word Ridge. Like in Belize, there is Pine Ridge. So when they explore the area,
The ruins are set in a deep tropical rainforest, providing a serene and picturesque setting that makes visiting here a unique experience.
there was the idea that the earth was flat, rectangular, or square shaped. Yes.
Exploring the Kohunlich Ruins solo was an unforgettable experience, and as a solo traveler, I had no problems at all. People were very warm and welcoming. There were 2 other people on board that were traveling solo as well. This is a cool area here that you can see all around me. It's pretty amazing. I'm just in a plaza area at this point, but over there is the temple. And you can climb it. A lot of times when I've been at Chichen Itza, it's been packed with people, but we're the only people here. So it's really nice. It's a very personalized tour. It's kind of amazing. It's so serene here. High steps. So it's kind of leafy here. The whole civilization back in 5 AD. The structures really aren't marked, so I did buy a map from the bus driver for $5 that it describes what everything is. It's such a pretty site. It's very quiet. A beautiful bougainvillea. So here we are on the other side, on the opposite side of the steps. That's what it looks like. Amazing.
3 masks. There are 6 masks up there. 3 over here and 3 looking the other way. We don't see any because after they excavated, they cover them to protect the stuccos. If they leave them exposed, the wind, the humidity will ruin them. So here we have eyes, nose and mouth of a mask, eyes, nose and mouth of another mask. Can you see?
Where the masks are. There. One of the most famous structures at the Kohunlich is the Temple of the Masks. This pyramid is adorned with large stucco masks that are remarkably well preserved, and it's on a 21-acre site. And only a portion of it is excavated. So this particular mask area the steps are a little bit crumbly. You have to be careful. There are wasps. Again, it's so peaceful here. The piece of wood structure at the very top of the roof has been put in to preserve the actual spot. The temple is adorned with large stucco masks that represent the sun god Kohunlich Ruins. Like many Mayan cities, Kohunlich has a ball court, and this was used for a Mesoamerican ball game, a sport with heavy ritual significance. It also has an advanced water system with several reservoirs. It's quite an interesting place. I wish I had a little bit more knowledge of the Mayan history, but for sure, it's really well preserved. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about staying safe while exploring new ports on your own. I'll be sharing essential tips and my own practices for ensuring that my solo travels are not only enriching, but secure and worry-free. Because the world is a beautiful place, and I want you to explore it confidently and safely with me. The tour ends at the Costa Maya port, and you're able to walk through, look at everything, decide if you want to shop or eat or do something else for your few extra hours left at the port of call. I personally just headed back to the ship. If you have found this video helpful or informative, please make sure you give that a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Our particular tour, it was educational, it was interesting. I mean, the Mayan mask, really amazing. I mean, to imagine it's been preserved for that long is incredible, really. Our guide, Luis, was really good. He tried to bring in a lot of educational stuff with his own pamphlets and that type of thing. There was a charge to use your video camera. It was $4 for the park. So it was very, very tucked away. But I feel like it was worth it. If you're into, as far as the history of an area, or maybe you know something about the Mayans. But I thought it was really interesting. And, there's something to be said for seeing ruins. The only thing I caution you is I noticed there were a lot of people with walking sticks. And some of the steps and whatnot were a little unbalanced and rocky, obviously, because they're old structures. So we had to sign waivers. Make sure that you wear good shoes for that. I wore tennis shoes, and then I brought a pair of sandals to change in later. But it was super hot, and we're in April. So it was a little busy in the port area. I didn't hang around too long. It is way too hot for me. So I was here once in November, and it was beautiful weather. So I think the time to come here would probably be in the winter. They were selling some independent tours outside of here. I don't know what those run. There's a lot in this area. I'm glad I came. And as a solo traveler, honestly, like I say, I feel like it was almost a non-event because you're walking around looking at things, having time to take pictures, helping people take pictures. They take pictures of you. And a cultured crowd, I'd say. So it was fine. But I'm glad I'm back on ship. We have one more day at sea. Solo travel's been great. I do have an extensive playlist on traveling solo on the Caribbean Princess and our Western Caribbean exploration of the various ports and the ship itself. So make sure you check that out. Thank you again for watching, and until next time.